Hello everyone! Last week on January 2025, something happened in the world. Artificial intelligence that left everyone from Wall Street to Silicon Valley absolutely stunned. So, what was it that caused all this chaos? Everyone, last week on January 2025, something happened in the world. Artificial intelligence that left everyone from Wall Street to Silicon Valley absolutely stunned. So, what was it that caused all this chaos, you ask? A company from China called DeepSeek, which we had barely even heard of a year ago. Imagine waking up one morning and finding a new AI assistant in Apple's App Store that has surpassed ChatGPT. And here is the kicker. This AI assistant, which no one had even heard of before, is not only free but also performs shockingly well. Even more importantly, it's open source. Yes, open source meaning that you can download it, install it on your computer or even your phone and use it however you like. Of course, this is something that can only be done with certain limitations depending on the hardware you are using, but still it's potentially groundbreaking. This unexpected development took everyone by surprise and the tech world is buzzing more than ever. Markets are importantly expectations have been completely upended. So what? Dozens of AI applications pop up every day, but this time it's different. And why? Because this isn't just about the success of one application. It's actually a sign of a much bigger shift. Let me give you some numbers to show just how serious this situation is. Following the news, Nvidia's stock plummeted by 15.5% in a single day. Giants like Microsoft, Google, and Meta collectively lost billions of dollars in value. Even tech companies across Europe felt the ripple effects. Why did this spark such a massive wave of panic? Because DeepSeek proved that developing AI can be done far more cheaply and efficiently than anyone had previously believed. While companies like OpenAI and Google have been spending billions of dollars to create their models, but DeepSeek developed a model with similar performance for just $6 million. And this all happened right after the newly elected US President Trump announced the Stargate project, a $500 billion joint venture involving OpenAI, SoftBank, and Oracle, touted as one of the largest investments in history. One of Silicon Valley's most famous investors, Mark Anderson, described this event as the AI Sputnik Moment. Just as the Soviet Union's launch of Sputnik in 1957 completely transformed the US space program, DeepSeek's breakthrough has the potential to redefine the entire AI industry. The US is no longer unrivaled in this field. The Cold War has been replaced by an AI war. And this time the rival holds a 2,500-year-old strategy manual, The Art of War. As Sun Tzu teaches, the best victory is the one achieved without fighting. What does all of this mean for us? To me, it signals an incredible milestone for the democratization of AI. And now, it's not just the tech giants, smaller companies and even smaller nations can develop their own AI models. This will boost competition and hopefully drive prices down. We are witnessing one of history's ironic twists. OpenAI, a company that began with the mission of being open and collaborative, is becoming more and more closed off. Meanwhile, a country known the Great Wall, China, is introducing OpenAI to the world. It's fascinating the US, which positions itself as the leader of the free world, and now building trade walls with tariffs, quotas, and bans. It wouldn't be surprising if soon enough they build a literal wall to keep foreigners and immigrations out entirely. The founders of DeepSeek claim they didn't get into this for profit but out of pure scientific curiosity. They described their project as something that started almost like a side hobby, something born out of passion and determination without the usual commercialization spin. At the heart of this history is our protagonist Liang Feng, a Chinese computer engineering graduate in his 40s. His true expertise isn't even in technology. It's in the stock market. During the 2007-2008 financial crisis, while still a university student, Liang started trading on the stock market. He was so successful that by 2015, he launched his own investment fund, High Flyer, which is now valued at $8 billion. Fast forward to 2021, Liang made a daring move. He transitioned the entire fund to be AI controlled. Essentially, he entrusted billions of dollars in transactions to bots. A bold and risky decision, no doubt. But the real madness began after that. Before the US imposed chip restrictions on China, Liang purchased around 10,000 Nvidia AI chips, and some sources suggest as many as 50,000. And what did he plan to do with them? Surprisingly, not make money. As he explains, he acquired the chips purely out of scientific curiosity and saying that even if you try to come up with a commercial justification for this, you won't find one. And in an interview, he elaborated that basic scientific research often has a very low return on investment. He drew parallels to OpenAI's earlier investors, who he said weren't motivated by profits but by a genuine desire to create something impactful. Liang even admitted that OpenAI, back when it was far more open than it's today, was a significant source of inspiration for him. DeepSeek has targeted academically successful but inexperienced young people, giving them a chance and setting a mission before them. We will solve the world's hardest problems. This young team started accomplishing incredible things with the limited resources. Let me briefly summarize their journey. In November 2023, they made their first move by releasing DeepSeek for free as an open source tool. By late 2023, they announced DeepSeek LLM, and then in May 2024, they launched the second version, DeepSeek V2, which triggered a pricing revolution in the AI world. In December 2024, they released their V3 model, which performed on par with ChatGPT 4.0 and Claude 3.5, but required just 1% of the computational power Meta used to train LLM 3.1. And last week, in January 2025, they introduced R1, and also known as the reasoning model, specializing in math and logic problems. This model outperformed ChatGPT on the App Store. And what's even more impressive is that they accomplished all this in just 1 year and 2 months. And their reasoning model was released 49 days after OpenAI's reasoning model, but managed to leave a much bigger mark. This young team is rewriting the rules of the AI world and proving each time that they can achieve more with fewer resources. Moreover, the clearest sign of how serious competition has become the recent value losses. This is no longer just a technology race, it has turned into a power struggle. The main reason behind this is the restrictions, and the US is preventing the sale of AI chips to China. As a result, Chinese companies are working on developing more efficient solutions. We have seen this scenario before. Remember the Huawei example? After US sanctions blocked them from using Google services, they developed their own operating system. And today, that system holds a significant market share in China. Similarly, in 5G technology, restrictions against Huawei pushed the company to develop their own chipsets and telecommunications equipment. A similar story unfolded in the electric vehicle battery sector. US and European technology restrictions pushed China to develop its own battery technologies, and now they are becoming market leaders. Today, Chinese companies like BYD control more than half of the global electric vehicle battery market. The same trend is continuing in semiconductor chips. When Chinese chips manufacturers like SMIC faced restrictions on accessing American equipment. They developed their own production methods. Although they have not yet possessed cutting-edge technology, they have made significant progress in mid-range chip manufacturing. Some analysts, researchers, and users in the tech world are raising various concerns. One of the most serious claims is that DeepSeek actually imitates ChatGPT. They point out an interesting detail that strengthens their suspicions. According to a report, this situation might indicate an issue with the model's training data. It suggested that this model might have improved and trained itself using ChatGPT responses, which is a method that's actually used. A bit like a derivative of a derivative, but still effective. In the tech community's rejection, some users are questioning the reliability of DeepSeek's claimed performance test, especially in terms of mathematical problem-solving abilities. Some argue that the model's actual performance isn't as good as in its benchmark tests that were announced. Tech publications are raising concerns about data security because DeepSeek is China-based, and they are questioning how user data is processed, where it's stored, whether the Chinese government has access to this data, and what the company's real financial sources and connections could be. But I think these questions should be asked about all models, not just DeepSeek. That's a separate topic though. Some analysts are also skeptical about the cost figures DeepSeek has disclosed, claiming that a $6 million development cost is ridiculously low by industry standards. Because of this, there are allegations that the company is hiding its real cost or receiving support from other sources. In fact, more radical critics even suggest that there could be different motivations behind DeepSeek's success, like China seeing the bigger picture and starting to undermine AI investments. Along with all of this, we should also remember that every new and successful venture faces similar doubts at the beginning. Only time will tell if these concerns are valid. Of course, there is also the issue of censorship. When you research sensitive topics for China, censorship is applied. We can see this in political issues, cybersecurity questions, and ethical debates. And then, that's the question. Is there such a thing as a completely under-biased AI? Could there be? The market is reassessing the future of AI with pricing, software optimization, and efficiency taking the spotlight. While some experts still argue that these declines are temporary, it's clear that there is a massive power struggle at play. The battle is just getting started. As we said, like the Sputnik that kicked off the space race in the space of AI. We'll see who gets the ahead in the coming days. We'll continue discussing this. Stay tuned with technology. Don't forget to like the video and share your thoughts in the comments. And subscribe the channel. Bye!